Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Okay, so I want to look at movement in populations, locations due to climate change, and just the overall trends, energies in relation to climate change in 2022. There is a major ice shelves in the Antarctic that look like they are about to fail or will fail or accelerating very quickly, ice melting very, very quickly, which is surprising climate scientists. Of course, we've seen some pretty horrendous type of climate change events. So I want to look at 2022 through the climate change lens. Are we going to get an uptick in climate change events in 2022? Are we going to get an uptick in events in relation to climate change in 2022? Yeah, there's certainly going to be decisions for lawmakers, I feel, in some way or another. Action needed, yeah. I saw the King of Wands needing to be bold with action. Number 15, that talks about new starts, and it talks about change, enacting change to give a new start here. Nourishment, number 7. This is about nourishing the earth here too, but this is water coming down from the moon and the tides. I'm getting a draw to the sea, and of course that ice that I was talking about, those ice shelves, things happening very, very quickly. We might have to take action here to care for our earth, to make sure our earth is not going to, the focus is on the seas, the focus is on the melting ice, the focus is on taking action, the focus is on climate change. I'm just getting a real pull with that moon. We have release here, letting go of old ways, bringing in new technology to do things more efficiently. Change, we do have to change, and climate change will push us down a different path, a different way, if we want continued abundance. Because what is happening is that the climate events are robbing businesses, corporations, industries of profits. And so everyone understands the need to change because they are being forced to. And so you will see a lot of that in 2022. I do feel that something around the poles as well, the North and the South Pole. And there's that ice or water there with the planet rising here. There's earth changes. So we have hunger and boundaries. I think there's going to be displacement there as well. And countries will hold on to their sovereignty, or want to hold on, or want to protect their sovereignty, because there is going to be that movement of populations. This isn't something we easily fix in 2022, our climate changes. It's something we've really got to take action and focus on. We are being forced to the table. Show me what are the general conditions in 2022 in relation to climate change. General conditions here. What sort of events, challenges, changes will we see, please? So, relocation of populations, yeah. Sometimes I think the cards kind of listen to, or the cards are in tune, obviously, with what is coming through. Populations relocating, islander populations. We're really going to have to commit as a global society, not, there's going to be a lot of jostling in trying to retain sovereignty, but unless we come together to act, populate. There's going to be a lot of migrant movement, asylum seeking, events that we can't predict, things happening out of left field. 2022, it just doesn't. We don't just go merrily tiptoeing through the tulips in 2022. There are events in relation to climate change that will shift whole populations. When I say shift whole populations, will cause people to have to relocate. Now, we were at the crossroads. This is in the past. The time for action and focus is here, was here, is here. Yeah, surprise. Things like the tornado, the multiple floods in Australia, things that don't fit a pattern, things coming out of the blue, things that take us by a surprise. These will be unexpected climate events that we can't really foresee. And unfortunately, we've got endings here. So, I would have hoped to bring a more positive, optimistic reading, but, this is loss of life. Climate change events that come out of the blue that we can't plan for will take lives, will end certain living conditions for people. People, perhaps in the Pacific Islands, for example, are going to have to leave islands, perhaps in parts of America where the waters rise. People are going to be looking to relocate. The Wheel of Fortune is a destiny type of card. It talks about change. It's not necessarily a bad one. Right now, we've got Jupiter in Aquarius. This is our opportunity here to focus and plan in relation to climate change. But Jupiter moves into Pisces as well, something yet coming into form. It's our learning. It's what we're going to do with the knowledge that we've got. So not everything is going to go pear-shaped in relation to climate change. It's like the scientists are learning about new technologies every day, and there are ways that we can do things more efficiently that have less of an impact on the earth. Celebrations, circles of support. I think there is, why we get this type of energy here in the here and now is I think there is, just getting people to COP26 and getting them to sign off on to restock in terms of our forests, plant trees, look at areas where there's been deep deforestation and try and rehabilitate them. Just getting people to the table to commit to that. Places like Brazil, where the Amazon has been, destroyed. Parts of the Amazon has been destroyed. They committed to it. So it's not all doom and gloom. The hopes and the fears is the Ten of Pentacles. Of course, we don't want to give an inch. The oil companies don't want to give an inch. The coal lobby doesn't want to give an inch. The fossil fuel lobby doesn't want to give an inch. This is big corporate money, in some respects, dark money. Now, the Hanged Man, there's not going to be a huge amount of progress in mitigation of the things that we know are putting us in peril. Therefore, we're going to have to look at things. We're going to be taught some kind of lesson here. These events that catch us by surprise are just going to bring more and more people to consensus. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Again, people not wanting to give up profits, but the government actually leading the way. Whatever governments are in place in 2022, as these events become more unexpected, more unpredictable, actually start to take reasonable kind of mitigation measures. So I don't see everything as doom and gloom in relation to climate change. We've got a retreat. We've got, a lot of the same kind of dark, moneyed industry, corporate forces will be further in retreat in 2022. I'm going to pick one more card. Yeah, Ace of Wands, projects, getting behind projects that do things more efficiently. There is going to be progress there because we've got the Queen of Wands. There's going to be the Will, Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is a quick energy movement, the horse, Pegasus. the winged horse. There is quick movement, discovery movement, motivation, highly motivated, loans and debts, giving and receiving help. Because of what has happened, the payout alone in some of these the disaster mitigation, it's like we've got to do things a bit better. Let's see whether people are actually thinking about moving to, get off the grid, moving into areas that perhaps are safer. I can already see we're getting refugee type energy there, perhaps from populations that need to relocate because of climate change. But the average person that is thinking about the impacts of climate change, are they going to be wanting to move to areas that are less affected by climate change? Let's have a look at that. Will there be a demographic type of change, demographic in terms of home ownership, living areas, geographical areas that people are choosing to live? Will there be that kind of movement toward more simplicity type of getting off the grid type of energy, self-sufficiency, perhaps moving to areas which are reasonably away from or not as impacted by climate change? All right, let's see what we've got here. Yeah, families, people care for their families. They're factoring in climate change in their decisions about where they live and where they bring their families up. So there's definitely that. And they're on the move, okay? They're not blind, deaf, dumb, stupid. They understand what's going on. They read the news. They see the tornadoes. They see the flooding. They see the fires. They understand there's a need to do things differently, and that is part of the change as well. I do think politically governments will get more and more of a mandate to act on climate change. Yeah, Pisces, we've still got this difficult choices and smoke screens. As much and all as the energy takes a step forward toward, better caring for the earth, better ways, better technologies, better understanding and awareness, we still have these forces that really do put out misinformation. Knight of Pentacles. Whatever was reliable and predictable is in the past in relation to climate. Yeah, what's crowning this reading? Nine of Pentacles. People want their needs met, and they'll go where that can happen. We've got the Hierophant. In the immediate future, government will be making decisions in the developments that they say yes to. Even housing developments, government will be making decisions and factoring in their matrix of decision making the impact of climate change on that area. It's quite interesting. There are new starts here in the here and now. People are already thinking of doing this. King of Wands, the lawmakers. But this is also stepping forward boldly and courageously. So we're getting, I think, an uptick, an increase in awareness, climate change awareness, in the hopes and fears, driven by the understanding that there is an inevitability about this, that certain things have to come to an end. Yeah, and we've got the Two of Wands, things coming to fruition in time. You will see people starting to plan for that. It's like a whole different way of living with the High Priestess here using their intuition. The collective does pick up on the flow. It's something about the collective moving forward with this. The past, learning from the past, using our intuition about the past, and there's the devil, the greed, the toxicity, the dark money. They see that as a historic energy that hasn't been good for them or their family. And we've got isolation, the Hermit card. So, we've got this partisanship, the climate change denial, as the deaths, the people taken as from natural disasters. People are highly motivated. People are working from home more so they can live in different areas. there is going to be movement as a result of increased awareness. One more card. Yeah, plans and strategies. People are going to start thinking about factoring in climate change into their decisions about where they're going to live. So 2022, let's just pull for each of the natural disasters. Let's pull a card on what we might be seeing. I can't be specific in terms of countries, just what type of events we will see more of, what type of climate change events we will see more of in 2022, what type of climate change events we will see more of in 2022. That wanted to come out. We'll certainly see more motivation. I think this is being driven also by feminine energy as well. Women lawmakers will step up to the plate. There's challenges, challenging the old way, challenging the past, which in many respects was, oil executives, mostly male. Okay, so we've got like mothers challenging the decisions that people are taking, leaders are taking, that are putting their own families in jeopardy. So you're going to get, what I'm trying to say is, a lot of climate change activism in 2022 as a result of these events. So let's take a look at, first of all, we'll go fires. Will there be an uptick in fires? I'm feeling already it's the sea levels that are. So we've got justice, of course, divine justice. This is karmic. There's a reason why it's happening, a quickening. And we've got the lovers card, Gemini energy, Gemini. And we've got the Five of Cups. So, I'm feeling more toward the Hermit card, isolation, the Devil card, greed. So, I asked fires, justice, and the Chariot, and the Lovers card. They're all yes cards. Virgo, isolation, September. June, July, September, those months are critical in relation to the question I just asked on fire in some part of the world. Let's look at flooding. This is the big draw card, not draw card. The big draw I get here is to flooding events in connection with the sea, because that was indicated in the overarching cards. Flooding, will we see more flooding events in 2022? Queen of Cups, yes. Water energy, something coming, the lid coming off something. Something major could fail, either a dike or a wall or a something. Something could be, come unexpectedly. Something could fail. I do think, this, we can look to places like China as well. Some of those major engineering projects, wherever they're located, you could see with the High Priestess energy. She does warn us. Yeah, okay. When I say engineering, when the engineering isn't as strong as it should have been, the Emperor card, I'm going to China, some kind of major flooding event in China. Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands, and the Chariot, things happening very, very quickly. So unexpected events, you will have flooding, and I think, last year I saw a major flooding event in China. I think this is going to continue for China. All right, so let's have a look at wind events. Wind events like tornadoes, storms, hurricanes. It's connected with water, so hurricanes perhaps. Hurricanes, are there going to be more hurricanes next in 2022, an uptick? Knight of Pentacles, steady progress. The Wheel of Fortune, change, luck, and new starts. No, I'm not really all... Yeah, okay, so it's already happened. There has been this huge loss of life. and we've got the victory card over the element of surprise. People are going to be more prepared for a freak type of event, whether that's a hurricane or a tornado in some way, as a learning from what has just happened in the United States. Okay, so earthquake is the next one. And we could see some earth movement in Antarctica, in the areas around the poles is what I'm feeling. Will there be earthquakes? Show me what I need to know in relation to earthquakes. Yeah, in snow-covered areas. You know, the drilling in these pristine areas is having an impact. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they're not telling us the full story about the impacts of what the drilling, whether it be oil. Someone's doing something in secret there as well. And this is where we're going to really find the major disaster is going to be an earthquake or earth movement in that north-south pole, Antarctica, snow-covered area, and it's going to impact the seas because I get the moon energy, the tides. As a result, I'm just going to ask if that major ice shelf. This is man-made. This is man-made here. This didn't have to happen. Will the major ice shelf fail? Will the major ice shelf in the Antarctica fail? Will the major thwaites? I think the shelf underneath that, which acts as an anchor, the ice shelf is melting very quickly. Page of Swords, truth emerging. This is the big one. Okay, so will ice break away at a pretty huge rate, or pretty quick rate, I should say, in 2022? What are we looking at with this ice shelf anchoring the thwaites? We're looking at ice melting rapidly in Antarctica. Yeah, temperance, moderation, balance, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so the Empress, Russia. I feel something's being done there. I think it is by Russia. Something's being done that isn't, perhaps other partners as well, not just one, that is impacting on this question. And it's an inevitability that something will happen down there. We are at the crossroads. Yeah, walking a tightrope. Yeah. Okay, the Four of Cups. Strength, it's going to be quite significant, and will impact us all. And as a result of that impact, the truth somehow emerges about what they've been doing down there. So there's more huge revelations about climate change, what's causing it, what's accelerating it in 2022, unfortunately. Okay, so an earthquake or earth movement which speeds up the ice melt, the ice breaking away, which influences the oceans, the seas, the tides, the sea levels. That is a major part of climate change in 2022. Okay, that's where the major focus is in the sea, whether it's tsunamis, earthquakes, rising sea levels. That's where I find the biggest pull in 2022. All right, bye for now.